Welcome to Game of Roses. This is Pace Case.
This is Bachelor Clues, and this is a This Week in Bachelor Nation, the likes of which you hain't never seen. We
hain't.
So much information. We have so much information about such a wide...
So much new information.
...variety of topics. And this is true. You're laughing at me, but it's true. We have some huge announcements, and one of these announcements pertains to a Scream from the Pit that we're going to get to later in the show today, which really is all about how we have influenced the show, how the show is forever changed because of the existence of a little podcast called Game of Roses. I can't wait to get to that. But before we do, we of course have some business up top. Now, we know that Joan Basso's Golden Bachelorette
Big announcement.
Wait, what's the announcement? Oh!
I'm flying back for the playoffs, baby. For the Game of Roses watch parties, which we have been doing Monday nights at 33 Taps at 8 p.m. in Silver Lake. And I'm coming back one night only for the Hometowns episode. So if you haven't come out yet, this is the time to come.
I mean, people have been coming out, too. It's been pretty much packed every Monday night. We can't thank everybody enough for coming out.
Get there early, maybe.
What's that?
Get there early,
Definitely
maybe.
Get there early if you want to see. And, you know, we're there. We're doing trivia. We're doing little games. We're playing classic clips. Like this past week, we played the clip from Sean Lowe and Catherine Giudici's hometown date in Seattle that exactly mirrored the one-on-one date Jen Tran had with Jeremy at Pike Place Market. So you'll get some little flavors like that.
That's
Maybe
legacy.
You'll win an autographed book if you come out. Please, everyone, come out. And definitely, like Lizzie's saying, this Monday night, you'll get the chance to meet Pace Case in the flesh. We hope to see you there.
Hooray.
We also must mention that we have received word this week that the manufacturer of our Love Levels shot glasses has discontinued shot glasses. So we're looking for alternatives. I know. We came up with this great shot glass, and they're like, we refuse to make it anymore. I guess we were selling too many of them for this company.
We broke the mold,
but
they say.
We know that some people have their orders in currently, and we're trying to figure out how to fulfill those, but the company that makes them is no longer making them. So we're trying to figure out something, and all the shot glasses that don't get shipped within the next week are going to be refunded, and you're going to get a special 15% off code for any of your next purchases on our website, gameofroses.co. So we have that. We also have a 10% off code, GOR2024. That's GOR2024. Anyone can use that for anything on our merch website currently. And again, I think in the Screams from the Pit.
Let's say saw a little 4TRR shirt on your favorite program, The Bachelorette.
You might.
And you wanted to pick up one for yourself.
Then you could do it at 10% off with that code, GOR2024. Now, we must also mention, we have gotten word that we will be getting screeners for Golden Bachelorette, which obviously is life-changing for us, and we cannot thank the powers that be enough for delivering this golden gift
you,
to
powers.
us. But what Golden Bachelorette is going to mean for us at Game of Roses in terms of scheduling, we still don't know. Those episodes are going to be airing Wednesday nights, and so we're going to have our recaps.
More information still to come.
Yeah, information still to come. But we're going to have our recaps out on Thursdays, just as we would do now for Jen Tran's Monday airing episodes. Our recaps come out Tuesday mornings. That same kind of system is going to be in place. We just don't know where we're going to move our This Week in Bachelor Nation episode. If it's going to come at the beginning of the week or what's going to happen, we're going to figure it out in time, so please hang with us. Now, Pace Case.
Might be another twixt weeks in Bachelor Nation situation.
Midweek.
Temporarily.
This midweek in Bachelor Nation. It'll probably wind up being a last week in Bachelor Nation scenario where that episode comes out early in the week and it talks about the things that happened the prior week.
A Lewibbin.
A what now?
Lewibbin. It's like Twibbin, but with an L.
Last week
instead
in
of a
Bachelor
T.
Nation, right? Lewibbin. Something like this. We'll get it all figured out.
Something catchy like that.
But rest assured, we will have still 2 episodes a week. Now, Pace Case, are you ready to get into this week in Bachelor Nation? We're still doing Twibbin as of now.
Let's go.
This is Game of Roses. State of the game. We have a gigantic state of the game. Everything has changed now. We've had a lot of conjecture on this very show about who we thought the next Bachelor was going to be. I was dead set on Blake Moynes, and I still want that to happen, and I still think it could a year from now. We'll see. But
I like that this prediction just getting pushed farther and further down the road.
Yeah.
It's just like indefinitely if Moynes is ever the lead.
30 years from now.
Might have to wait till Golden.
Exactly. He'll be the Golden Bachelor. You know, I've been watching Love is Blind UK, and they're talking about like 90 years from now, 100 years from now. And I'm like, who are these people thinking that they're immortal? At any rate, they're not really saying that. They're saying like
they
50,
know something
60
that we
years
don't.
from now. Maybe.
Maybe we should figure it out.
They're on a regimen.
It would be so cute if Blake Moynes was the Golden Bachelor and then they could bring on like golden creatures.
Ooh.
You know?
Yeah, that would be interesting. But
That would be cute.
Blake-
Like turtles.
yes,
They're golden. They're old.
some 1,000-year-old tortoises.
Some of them.
Blake
Some of them.
Moynes is not the Bachelor. Instead, the state of the game this week is that we know who Bachelor Season 29 Bachelor is going to be, and it is Grant Ellis. He's 30. He's from Houston, a former pro basketball player, now a day trader. He is the 5th place or 6th place finisher, depending on how you look at it, in this current season of Bachelorette Season 21. He went out, obviously, in the most recent rose ceremony. He has a big PTC with his father's addiction, and he did make it all the way to Love Level 3, I'm Falling in Love with You, with Jen Tran. So this is what we know about him so far. We're going to obviously get more details about his kind of personal life and as they're building the narrative of what kind of Bachelor he's going to be. But
It's more than we got for Clayton,
yeah,
you know, about who he is.
absolutely. Well,
And I would argue he and Marcus are maybe the only people getting Bachelor edits, and I can tell you right now, Marcus is 100% out of the equation forever.
yeah, I don't think he's ever even going to be on Paradise or anything. Well, let's get into that.
No.
Because this question I was going to ask you has to do kind of,
Yeah.
I think, with Marcus and Devin a little bit, and Sam M, if you want to throw him in there too. But they announced this immediately after the airing of Jen Tran's episode 6 on the East Coast. So there was still an hour left of the program here on the West Coast when it was all over the internet that Grant is the next Bachelor. So it kind of ruined the end of that episode for anybody who wasn't on the East Coast. Why did they announce it in the middle of an episode? That I don't really know. But also, why did they announce it this early? Usually these announcements are reserved for after the final rose. It's kind of the last thing they do at the end of a season is say, and here's who you should be looking out for in the next season. Why do you think they did it, Pace Case?
2 reasons. Number 1, the shitstorm that is coming with our finalists and the rest of the potential bachelors that they do not want us rooting for.
Yep.
We will get to said shitstorm coming up in Bachelor Nation News. We kind of alluded to it in our recap. The second reason, actually there's 3. The second reason is that they are in response to kind of they've been accused of not casting for Jen Tran for this season. And this might be to rectify that and be like, we want people who really want to date Grant Ellis.
That's what Rob
And then the
Mills
third
said.
reason is that they do not know how to do the rollout of a Black Bachelor, period. They fucked it up with Matt James and they effed it up again here. But not even announcing it on the show.
Yeah.
We're getting this video that we'll get to of Grant talking to Good Morning America that looks like it was filmed in 2012.
Well, let's watch that video right now. So this is kind of the first time that we got to see Grant saying, "Hi, I'm the Bachelor." This was a video that it looks like he shot on his cell phone. I don't know where he is in this video, and they just played this on Good Morning America. So let's take a look at that video right now.
Good morning, America. My name is Grant Ellis, your newest Bachelor. I'm so excited to kick me off my journey in finding love, and I hope that you guys join me next year when the show premieres on ABC. I'm looking for a love that's kind and understanding. Some qualities I'm looking for in a potential partner is somebody who's adventurous, somebody who's affectionate, and somebody who's loving. I can't wait for this incredible journey to get kicked off. It's going to be so fun. I hope you guys tune in. Peace.
Peace.
I mean, he's reading this off
now
a
I
cue
realize
card.
why I thought it was 2012. The music that's playing behind it, I'm pretty sure is the score of like Blind Date or Next or
Yeah.
one of those shows. It's very strange.
It's like chintzy. It feels like they didn't even know who
so
the Bachelor was going to be.
chintzy.
I know
It's blurry.
it's very bad. The fact that it's not, in my opinion, anytime you have an announcement of who your next lead is, it is a celebration. It should be big and fun. I don't even mind when they do, like they bring them out at the end after the final rose and they have, 3 or 4 people from their season come meet them live. That at least has some electricity to it, some excitement, Mm-hmm. This is a cell phone
Maybe
video.
they'll still do that.
What's that?
Maybe they'll still do that.
Yeah, maybe they will. Maybe this is just kind of the appetizer, until we get to the meal of the formal introduction of Grant Ellis as the Bachelor. But this announcement was, I think...
You're asking the right questions, though, Clues.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm going to ask that question right back to you. Why do you think that this rollout happened like this? Spoiling the episode for the West Coast.
Now you're asking the right questions. That was my Jodie Foster. Thank you very much.
Oh, that was Joker.
I agree with you. I mean, Rob Mills, who is the head of ABC Alternative Programming, head of reality TV division, basically at ABC, has tweeted that they did this so that women have time to see who the Bachelor is and can apply based on that specifically. So he's kind of couching it in this argument that it's like, no, we're doing this to help him.
It's for TRR.
Yeah, it's for TRR. The truth is, and we're going to get to this in Bachelor Nation News, the truth is Devin Strader and Marcus Schoberg, who are at least in the top 4, if not the finalists, have very credible, very damaging allegations against them for a variety of reasons. Both of them are kind of in different categories, but neither one of these guys can be your Bachelor. And I think they were, at least from everything we were kind of seeing.
Neither one of these guys should be around Jen Tran, the first Asian Bachelorette who should be protected at all costs.
I agree.
It enrages me
Yes, I completely
that this
agree.
is happening.
Especially, I mean, we'll get to this in the news too, but, the Bachelor upper tier executive producers just came out in that big LA Times article right before Jen Tran's season aired saying we take accountability for the Eric Schwer blackface incident and sweeping that under the rug and how we've treated players of color in the past, and we're going to do better. And then this happens. Again,
No more all-white seasons ever again.
Yeah, they can't. It seems like they are incapable of presenting a lead of color and giving them a proper love story that is without all of this problematic stuff from players in their player pool. It happens every season. And now
What
it's
about
happening
Charity
again.
Lawson?
What's that?
What about Charity?
Yeah, Charity was the
Charity and Dotton.
Charity and Dotton.
Pristine.
That was it. That was the time they did it correctly. One out of however many other times they've tried. But I think I agree with you. I think they're rolling him out now to kind of try and take some of the steam out of what is coming with these, with Marcus and Devin. I just don't think they're going to be able to get out from under it. And again, we're going to talk about this in the news, get into the specific allegations. But I'm curious to see if they, put that on camera. Are they going to make these guys answer for it at a Mentel All or a after the final rose, which they didn't do with Eric Schwer, and vowed that won't ever happen again?
Yeah.
I think they have to.
If they weren't going so far, they might ignore it.
Yeah.
But they are clearly, they're in the top 4, probably 3, just my guess, although obviously I keep underestimating Jer Bear.
I know. He could be the best horse.
Maybe he's the ring winner.
But it's been very clear to me that Marcus was getting a Bachelor.
You think it's all to cover up?
Yes. I think they thought Marcus was going to be the Bachelor. All this stuff has come out. Again, we'll get to the specifics of it. And now they're like, well, definitely can't be him. So we pivot to a 6th place finisher or 5th place again, depending on how you see it. He went out in the same rose ceremony as the 2 guys who went out in that rose ceremony are places 5 and 6. yeah, or however you want to see that. But
I do think they protected themselves a little bit. I think that Grant and Marcus, and to some extent Jonathan, got the like for TRR, good guy, we want these people to find love kind of edit. I mean, they literally call Marcus a hero in the show. A hero.
We've already seen in the promo, he's hugging, I think, his dad in his hometown, and the American flag is flying proudly.
It can't be his dad. His dad left him at the store.
Oh, whoever it is then. He's hugging somebody, and there's an American flag flying behind him. They're really playing up that, like...
At the daycare. Right?
The Americana of him.
Something like that.
He's an American hero. And now all these allegations are out there, and it's going to be, I think, for most people, as these allegations are coming into the mainstream now, which is why we're going to report on them today in the news, that it's going to be difficult to watch him, I think.
Yeah. Period.
Saying anything to Jen
They should be
Tran.
cutting him out of the show.
But, I mean, you can't do
as
that
much as
narratively.
possible.
What are you going to do? Just be like, oops. And this...
I don't know.
hope
They
that doesn't
disappeared
exist.
that guy on Hannah Brown's season who had like, I want to say it was the same thing.
Yeah.
It was like domestic abuse,
Right.
something. They disappeared him. They didn't even address it. But he obviously
wasn't
didn't do
a
as well as
finalist.
Marcus.
Yeah, they get painted into
Yeah.
these corners. It was the same thing on Matt James's season with Rachel Kirkconnell. She wins the ring,
Right.
but she has pictures of her at these antebellum parties, and it became what it became. That season was a disaster. Do you think this season with the second Black Bachelor is going to be any better? Will they be able to handle this better?
The rollout says no to me.
The rollout says...
I'm hoping the rollout to me is like, okay, the Matt James rollout was bad because it was during the height of all of the Black Lives Matter, everything that was going on, deep COVID, and they just like posted it,
yeah,
like on Instagram.
and they pulled him from a
That
player
Matt
pool.
James was going to be, he was pulled from a future player pool to be the lead. We didn't know him before, and they just post him, and it's like, I feel like there's been so much backlash for how they rolled that out, and then for the Grant thing to be like this with that video, it's just tough. It's really tough when you're like, look at what they did for Joey. You know, it was like red carpet, everything great. Look, they can't do worse
I mean, don't say that.
than Matt James. I'm like, DLP, maybe just don't even talk to Grant.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they're
Take
going to
it.
handle all of that. I will say this: I don't believe what Rob Mills is saying. I don't take that at face value. But the truth is, that is what will happen now. Because he's been announced so early, it does give a lot of people out there who might want to come on the Bachelor generally to be like, oh yeah, I do like that guy. You can still apply right now. There are some seasons like Jen Tran season, for example. Those guys were locked. Those guys were locked in for Maria, and then they just put Jen Tran in front of them. This is a completely different scenario.
As Sam said in last episode, Sam M. thought it would be Maria or Daisy.
Sam M. Oh, Sam M. Poor Sam M. He's having a rough week this week. If you're thinking about sending Sam M. any kind of nasty DMs, just don't do it. That guy, I mean,
Or anyone.
he was
Just
not a good
don't.
player. He went out and I almost said a blaze of glory, but it was a not a blaze of glory, whatever the opposite of that is.
In my mind, it was a blaze of glory, kind of.
Man,
Not so much blaze as like,
and not
I don't know what you would call
not so
it.
much glory as dishonor. At any rate, that is the state of our game.
Hey, Sam M is a hero in comparison.
I know. So the allegations that were against Sam M was that he came into the show with a girlfriend prior to like the day
Yeah.
before. And I know that's for the wrong reasons and everything,
Jed
but just
Wyatt.
wait until we get into the news and talk about Devin Strader and Marcus Schoberg and the
I
allegations.
mean, I
they
would
have.
also like. I'm sure they cast I'm sure they cast a few people generally being like, the lead will like this person. But in general, I think they just cast the most charismatic, TV ready people possible, regardless of who the lead is. And as you can see, sometimes they just fill it in.
Absolutely. They're looking to fill their roles. They need a couple villains. They need a couple of fools. They need a couple of, like, what I would call
You think they
virginity
thought,
players.
you know,
What's that?
Lee Garrett was Rachel Lindsay's type? No.
No, and she has even said that they probably cast Lee Garrett specifically because he had these racist tweets and racist posts, so that would be a narrative in her season. I don't think they do that anymore, though, because it has ended in disaster in the modern era. I don't think they do that. I think these are literally just people not looking into the pasts of these people, not doing like a thorough background check, which I know they do. They have people do background checks, and somehow this slips through the cracks. Anyway, we're going to get to the specifics of all of that in Bachelor Nation News. That is the state of the game. We have our new Bachelor. It is Grant Ellis. I'm looking forward to the season. I have some reservations about how they might present it. I hope that they do a good job. I really do, for his sake and for the sake of the nation.
I think he will be great. I think that his Love Level 3 play and the tiers that were involved in loading it, he loaded it with the second audience, with his guys, and made it seem so for TRR that you couldn't like hate on him for using such a strong love level. And then, do you remember when he produced Tiers? Was he just talking to Thomas N, I believe? He's talking to one guy. Oh, Jonathan.
Yeah.
One-on-one outside. And he produced Tiers about his Love Level 3 and was like, don't tell anyone.
He's extremely for TRR.
Let's go.
Yeah, he's a great player.
I think he's going to be fantastic.
I mean, for him, I'm very happy. And I think he deserves this shot. He's a guy who I think really in any season could have been in the finals. And it just happened to shake out this way in this season that he didn't make it. So be it. But I think he's a strong player, and I do think he'll be able to carry the crown. I'm looking forward to his season.
100%.
You know, regardless of how it's presented, I'm nervous for him. I will say that much. I'm nervous for what could possibly be done to him.
I'm nervous as well. Just by what is happening with this Jen Tran season, it makes me incredibly nervous for the next lead of color. But
I agree. I feel so bad for Jen Tran.
Or lead at all.
I mean, we are headed for, I would say, certain disaster at the end of Jen Tran's season. I don't think it's avoidable. Yeah. That said, let's move on to talk about the ratings.
Love is real.
Let's move on to talk about the ratings of Jen Tran's season and all the movements of her players on Instagram and TikTok. This is
This Week in
Games.
All right. Jen Tran this Monday turned in a 0.36 in the 18 to 49-year-old demo, which is the exact same number she turned in the prior week. And she went up a little bit in raw viewers, 2.5 million, up about 13% from 2.25 million the prior week. These ratings are kind of in the middle of the pack. Her night one was a 0.45, and then her next 2 weeks were a 0.37. Her fourth episode was a 0.25, which we now know was because of the Olympics. That was her lowest rated night, but she still won the night other than the Olympics. And now she's back up to a 0.36. So she's kind of in the middle of the pack. I expect these numbers to pick up a little bit in playoffs, which is next week with hometowns. Then Fantasy Suites usually scores huge, and usually the finals are the biggest numbers. So we'll see if that holds true. But when comparing these ratings to the rest of the network field for Monday night, Jen Tran did once again win the night. A little less dominant, but still a win. Her 0.36 topped NBC's American Ninja Warrior.
Gold is a gold, baby.
Exactly. Gold's a gold. Sometimes you win by an inch, sometimes a millimeter. And in this case, maybe this would equate to a few feet. I don't know. I don't know how to draw this analogy to network TV ratings, but she had a 0.36 over American Ninja Warrior on NBC with a 0.33. CBS had a rerun of NCIS that scored a 0.21. Name That Tune had a new episode on Fox, raking in a 0.2. And All American Homecoming, a new episode on the CW, got a 0.04 with 310,000 beautiful viewers.
Did that 0.36 that Jen Tran got translate into gains on her social media? Well, she gained 4K on Instagram this week, bringing her to 266K. On TikTok, she gained 2.4K, bringing her to 131.6K TikTok followers.
God, I really wanted her to hit 1 million. I don't even think she's going to hit 500,000.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I expect her to put on at least 200 more K, so I think she'll break 500.
You think?
Playoffs, you get the most numbers.
Yeah, we'll see.
Finale, I don't know. I'm hoping they at least give her a victimization edit in all of this hullabaloo that is going on.
See, though, they're...
I don't even, how are they even going to handle this? I don't understand.
I don't think...
Sorry, I know we're in Gaines.
Yeah, we're going to get to that. I don't think they can give her a victimization edit because they've geared the whole season towards she is the one in control. She has the power. I don't think they can... I don't think they have the footage, frankly. I think they have engineered the season so that she's presented as, like, in charge, making all the decisions. I don't know. We'll see.
So yeah, maybe maybe that's what has never happened is they tell her about all of these allegations and she breaks up with both of them at the end.
You know what, though? I don't think they... Well, I mean, I guess they could have had that footage post facto, but I don't think they knew this stuff while they were shooting the actual season. This is all... We're going to get to it, but it's fourth audience work that is making this happen now.
Shoot. You know, we had a call with Reality Steve.
Yeah.
Back at the beginning of the season, and he said, "Oh, just wait for what's going to happen."
Yeah, I do remember.
Do you think that is what has already happened? Do you think that's this news?
Yes.
Or do you think it's like still to come?
I don't think there's anything that can happen in the narrative of the show that would be more important than these allegations or have more of an effect on the franchise than these allegations. I just don't like,
Right.
What could she do? Pick the other guy? Send both of them home? Want to keep dating both of them? Even the wildest stuff you can think of narratively
Right.
is meaningless in the face of these allegations, in my opinion.
Now for the top Instagram chart. Actually, let's start with the top Instagram gains. As of today, Thursday, August 15th, this week, our 5th place gain goes to Sam Najad. The Kiss and Love Virgin gained 4K this week.
How?
Post Swan exit bump.
Is he buying these followers?
I don't know.
Jonathan Johnson's in 4th place with a gain of 6.5K.
Devin Strader gained 6.5K as well. In 3rd,
Austin Ott is in 2nd place with 7.8K gain. What's going
and
on?
our number 1 gain, probably surprises no one, is Grant Ellis gained 23K this week for that crown announcement and Swan Song exit bump.
Wow.
For the top TikTok gains, we had, coming in at number 5, Matt Rossi, the skeleton, gained 200 TikTok followers.
Sam Najad's still on this list in 4th place, also with 200 follower gain.
Old Aaron Erb, remember him? He gained 368 TikTok followers.
He's flying the friendly... No, not the friendly skies. He's flying the anti-friendly skies.
Jenkins skies.
The combat skies. In 2nd place with a gain of
Evil
1.3K
skies.
is Sam McKinney. Well, he's kind of lighting up TikTok, though, right now. I get that.
He's getting really good engagement on his reels right now. Top spot goes to Spencer Conley, gained 3.1K this week after his exit. Now for the top 5 Instagram chart total. Number 5 is your next bachelor, Grant Ellis. Is at 30.5K.
Just above Grant Ellis in 4th place is Sam McKinney with 34.8K.
3rd place goes to the floater with the motors. 39.9K Instagram followers for Austin Ott.
Floater with the motor.
I don't know.
That's a boat. That's
That one needs to be workshopped.
2nd place goes to Matt Rossi, the skeleton, at 57.8K.
And your top spot still Sam Najad in 1st place with 191,000 Instagram followers.
This is just...
I believe at least Grant Ellis will overtake him. I don't
Yeah.
know about anyone else.
I think Grant Ellis obviously is going to move up this list in the coming weeks. It's just disgraceful, these numbers.
It is.
In my opinion. But we also now must report some other disgraceful numbers.
Speaking of disgraceful, here's the top TikTok chart. Coming in at number 5 is Old Aaron Herb at 6.5K on TikTok.
Spencer Conley's in 4th place with 10.1K.
Sam M in 3rd with 15.4K.
That skeleton, Matt Rossi, is in 2nd place with 59.9K.
And top spot, Sam Najad. Congratulations once again on the gold. 281,000 TikTok followers.
God.
Untouchable.
Grant Ellis nowhere on this chart.
Well, once he posts that GMA video, I bet he'll start getting followers.
Yeah, I think so too. I hope that he can get 1 million at least. Let's get behind this. I know we don't have the reach to get him 1 million followers, but everybody out there, just follow Grant Ellis. Make fake accounts.
If only 1 million of our billion listeners.
Oh, we have 1 billion
Follow
listeners?
him.
I didn't realize that.
Didn't you know that?
No, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Congrats to us.
Yeah, our 1,000th listener. That wraps up gains, and now we're going to move on to that portion of our program where we're going to have to unfortunately talk about these allegations against Devin and Marcus.
This is Bachelor Nation News.
First up in Bachelor Nation news, the incoming elder rookies of the historic first season of The Golden Bachelorette have been announced. Their ages range from 57 years old, that's Kelsey Anderson's dad, who is the only player under 60, by the way, all the way up to 2 players who are 69. No one in this season
Nice.
is over 70.
Vassos, whose husband died from pancreatic cancer after 32 years of marriage, will wear the first ever Golden Bachelorette crown after her time as a player in the inaugural season of Gary Turner-led Golden Bachelor. Her time was cut short when she eliminated herself during week 3 over a medical concern with her daughter.
Good luck to Joan as she takes her first steps into Bachelor franchise history, and good luck to this first crop of Golden Rookie men as they get their first taste of playing the game on the biggest stage in the world. Most will likely fade into obscurity, but some will become famous from this experience, and indeed one rookie who proves their talents might even become the next Golden Bachelor.
We are going to, by the way, do a breakdown of the cast closer to Joan's season. The first season of The Golden Bachelorette premieres on Wednesday, April 18th, which means we already talked about this. We'll slightly be shifting our schedule to accommodate, and our recaps of Joan's season will be on Thursdays, the morning after her episodes air. First reactions to this cast, they are hot.
They're jacked.
Can we talk about this?
They're jacked.
What on earth? This shocked me.
Me too. I mean, this trend is happening. I'm watching Love is Blind season 1 UK right now in Clue's Corner. Please join me. It is fantastic. Everybody on that season basically could also be on Too Hot to Handle. And I think we are starting to see this move in all reality TV dating casting to just get the most attractive people you can, period. I think...
What do you mean? This has always been the priority of reality TV casting.
Of course. But like Love is Blind...
And of course, they got to look good in a hot tub. Never forget that.
I'm not saying
was
it wasn't
Dark
like
Emperor
that.
Fleiss early
Yes,
on.
of course. I'm not saying it wasn't like that in days of yore, but Love is Blind specifically has always kind of been like, no, these are more regular people. Yes, they're all very attractive. I'm not saying they're not, but you know, they're not like Too Hot to Handle casting. That's a different vibe. That's like supermodels and shit. It felt like Love is Blind season 1 UK is more to that angle. You know?
I mean, I think that might be in part because there's so much hype over Love is Blind, and this is the first time it's coming out in the UK. It's already popular, so I think there's going to be a lot of competition. And I also think if you're a Love is Blind casting person, you generally want to pick all hot people so that at least, you know,
Sure.
there's a chance. They're not really going for I don't know, some sort of mismatch. Like
Sure.
all those couples tend to be pretty hot.
I agree with what you're saying.
Question about this Golden Bachelorette season.
Sure.
Where on this list is Gary Turner?
I don't know. He, unfortunately, he's what, 73 or 74 now? I think he's 73. He's beyond the scope of the age limit for this.
But he and Joan have an unfinished love story. So
Right.
I think it is. I do think they are not going to do this because I think his 2-month wedding and then divorce was a stain on the Golden franchise.
I agree.
But it would be very interesting to have him come in. I think he'll maybe at least host a date.
You think he'll
But I
be
think
in
he
the
should crash
season?
the season.
Wow. Joan Vassos, by the way, 61. So I think they're trying to keep it, in quotes, age appropriate, even though she was on his season, Gary Turner's. I don't think he'll be there.
She's 61. Why is there only one person under 60?
I don't know.
Riddle me this, clues.
I don't know. They should have had some 30-year-olds, in my humble opinion. I don't think Gary Turner is going to be in this season. I don't think he'll host a date.
No.
Exactly for the reason you just stated. I think he is a stain on love. I don't think they can...
Yeah.
Unless he's
my God.
a...
I forgot that was actually Tyler Cameron's phrase,
Tyler
a
Cameron called
stain
him a
on
stain
love.
I just don't think that they can have him come back and do anything other than say, I made a mistake. But in saying that, it's somehow discrediting the process.
Anti-process.
Yeah, he's too anti-process. It can't be done. They didn't bring back Alex Michelle in Trista's first season. I don't think they do it here either.
Right. Well, he was still with Amanda, right?
Yes.
They stayed together for a little
Was
bit.
he or was he not? Because they did 2 seasons of Bachelor.
Or no, they did Trista way later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the first few seasons of Bachelor.
I think Alex Michelle finished his season and then ghosted. He got on a ship and was never seen again.
Yeah, it's possible. I don't know. I just don't think they'll bring Gary Turner back for this. I don't think he's...
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I don't think he's
I would
worth
be
it
interested in
for them.
that.
But I agree with you.
They roll him out the same way they did Blake Moynes on Katie's season. It's just like a bunch of shadows moving. It's like a ghost pickleball thing coming in.
Or they go to a cafe, to that diner, and Gary's just in there working now, just working in the back. You just see his eyes peek above the counter every once in a while.
It's because I stopped believing.
Yeah. Don't stop believing, or they'll trap you in this diner forever, and you'll have to haunt it until the end of days. These guys,
I took
though,
all the California freeways I could to come meet you, Joan, and crash your season.
he's just on a motorcycle. They have the sports car date with the broken headlights, and he's on a motorcycle next to him. Get off the road! Get out while you can! They'll steal your soul!
Get out while you can.
I mean, at least think of the impressions that could be done if he were to
That's
crash.
true. But I agree with you. All these
But yeah,
guys are...
very sexy casting.
Some of these dudes are legit.
Am I golden now? Like, what is happening?
Probably.
Yeah, the Musk and Vask on the golden cast is, I mean, just so far and from the little clips I've watched, it seems like great casting.
I think they may put these guys on a forced violence tackle football date, just judging by the looks of them. They're
You're
not,
like, I see him, and that's what I would do right away.
they're not going to do that, but I could
That
see
Musk, that Vask. It's a missed op.
all the dates are like boxing, stick fighting, tackle football, rugby. I don't think they're going to do
fighting.
that, but I could see them doing a forced nudity date on this cast.
Oh, 100%.
We'll see. Time will tell.
You gotta.
Let's move on. Up next in Bachelor Nation news, Joan Vassos isn't going to be the only senior looking for love on reality TV this year. Peacock has announced a new dating show set in the Real Housewives universe.
What? The streaming network, which is currently home to Love Island USA, is set to launch a show currently being called Love Hotel. I would workshop that. That will gather eligible singles in a quest to win the hearts of 4 of Bravo's biggest bachelorettes. The show will star Luann de Lesseps, the Countess from The Real Housewives of New York City. Heard of her? She's been to jail. She's been to prison. Why don't you just be all cool, not uncool? Those are her phrases. She's 59. Shannon Storms Bador, Real Housewives of Orange County, 60. And Real Housewives of Potomac, oh geez, Giselle Bryant, who is 53, looks 23. And Ashley Darby, who basically is 23. She's 36. She was a very young cast member on Potomac. That's honestly one of my favorite Real Housewives.
Filming will take place in September in Cabo San Lucas, where the women will be offered a, quote, diverse dating pool. The show is expected to air sometime next year. So I think this is going to start to be a trend. Older dating shows with the success of Golden Bachelor, I think we're going to start seeing a lot of different streamers and networks kind of try their hand in this area.
I cannot wait for this. I'm surprised this is the first time they're delving into Real Housewives dating. I mean, they do show some of them dating on the show, but specifically this. And they have been experimenting with the, what do you call them? The vacation shows where they're like, they bring a bunch of different housewives together. I forget what they call it. Great Big Vacation or something like that.
Well, good luck to them.
But I'm very curious.
I think that show's going to be huge. I think a lot of people will watch it. And if it produces any viable relationships, it will prove the process. Now, let's move on to the thing we were kind of talking about up top, the allegations on problematic behavior surrounding two of Jen Tran's final...
No one named Tom, though, in the casting.
What's that?
Don't cast anyone named Tom.
Oh.
Those who know will know.
Okay. Up next, in Bachelor Nation news, the allegations on problematic behavior surrounding two of Jen Tran's final four players, Devin Strader and Marcus Schoberg, have reached critical mass just as we're about to start playoffs.
The fourth audience has revealed that Devin Strader was once an aspiring rapper using the name 96Dev. During his time as 96Dev, Strader wrote and performed a song called 96 Waves, in which he raps the N-word. The fourth audience also found several transphobic, homophobic, and right-wing Instagram posts that were liked by Strader. And seemingly in an attempt to counteract the fallout from this revelation, Strader has unliked these posts and issued likes to several liberal-leaning posts in recent days.
Yeah. So, it's out there. All of this stuff is very easily Googleable if you want to see these things. It's on Reddit, all of this. And that's Devin. That's Devin's allegations. He's had
Just look up Devin Strader allegations or Marcus Schoberg Bachelorette allegations. You'll find them all.
And the same can be done for Marcus. These allegations regarding Marcus Schoberg involve several different women coming forward on Reddit to tell their stories of sexual assault committed by Schoberg. And there are allegations that when Schoberg was on deployment in 2016, he shot and killed dogs. These things, again, are all over the internet. Check it out for yourselves. There are a lot of very detailed posts on Reddit about Marcus and the specific instances and incidents that he was involved in. We don't, I think, have time to go through them all by detail here, but there are a bunch of them, and they're all on the internet. This is readily available for anybody.
There is a thing where probably in all major cities, there are Facebook groups for women to try to protect each other from like notorious men.
Yeah.
And I think they were one of the possible sources. In a season that has an incredible historical importance with Jen Tran as the first Asian lead, it once again seems like the franchise is incapable of properly vetting players to ensure the safety of their leads. It remains to be seen if either of these players will have to address the allegations at either the Men Tell All or after the final rose. Just before Jen Tran's season aired, several producers gave an interview to the LA Times, vowing that this was a new era for the franchise, one that would be better about how they cast and how they handle issues just like these. They promised that the days of Eric Schwer's high school blackface scandal being completely ignored by the show were over. We will all have to wait and see if they were lying to us or not.
Yeah, it's astounding that this just keeps happening again and again and again. And like I said, if you look at Love is Blind, which is, I would say, kind of the... At this point, they're not even really competitive. Love is Blind is a much more popular show than Bachelor. They never have these problems, the racism problems. They certainly have had some other problems. They cast a guy, I believe it was last season, that Renee Poche, who wound up being engaged to him, claimed she felt unsafe and that he had a gun and all this kind of stuff. So I'm not saying they're without this kind of stuff.
The unsafe men are everywhere.
Yeah,
they surround us all.
Exactly. That can't be helped. If you're making a reality dating show, that's going to happen. But the racism stuff for the
Yeah,
Bachelor,
you want to cast men? Sorry. Violence.
I mean, I don't even know if that's true necessarily, but it does seem to be true, at least in these two franchises. But the stuff with the racist past of these different players, especially in a season where you're really promoting the show as turning a corner and casting better and doing better about representation, and you still have this stuff in it. I just don't get how that continues to happen again and again and again. I don't get it.
I don't get why the fourth audience has tools that the casting and the producers don't have, seemingly.
I think it's just...
Or have and are not using well, or...
I think it's more like the show has one person who looks into this stuff. The fourth audience is millions of people constantly on Reddit doing it as, you know, a hobby out of just kind of personal investment. And I get that they, you know, can't find everything, but the liked posts, that song that Devin Strader has where he's rapping the N-word is just on the internet. You can't find that. His picture's next to it. His little artist profile picture, you know? These kinds of things seem easy to find.
Aren't faces all in the internet now? Like, I would think you could find everything that has someone's face. I used to find, like, wild stuff when I was looking up the people I was going on online dates with.
Oh, wow.
You know, through reverse Google image search, etc. Sure. I found wedding registries. I found a secret baby.
What? Wait a minute. You were about to go on a date with a guy and you found that he was going to be married?
No, had been married. Had hidden it.
Oh, damn. But was divorced or was still married?
Or maybe was still married. I don't know.
Oh. You ghosted him? Or you went out with him?
Bye.
Nice.
I married him. What do you mean it's changed?
Well, I'm happy for you. I hope you guys have a nice life together. Okay. Well, those are all the allegations. Just now, a quick tid in Bachelor Nation news to round out the news. A big congratulations to our Bachelorette Season 13 crown and all-around Bachelor Nation trailblazer, Rachel Lindsay, who put another feather in her ever-evolving cap this week as she rendered hosting duties for the Miss Teen USA pageant. Congrats, Rachel Lindsay. We love to see her out there in front of everything, hosting things, doing higher learning with Van Lathan, just doing everything. She does everything. There's no other way to say it.
And congrats to whoever's getting a percentage of that.
Indeed. Yeah, I don't think a Bachelor gets
for
that.
The portion.
I don't think a Bachelor gets a cut of this. Isn't this post filing for divorce?
I don't know.
I don't think he does.
I don't know how it works.
Yeah, maybe he can get a new air fryer.
When were the contracts signed? Now for the portion of our program in which we discuss all the biggest goings-ons on the internet, on our phones, on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, what have you. This is the parasocial play of the week. Former Bachelor Crown, Traitors player, and kissing bandit Ari Luyendyk Jr. showed off his incredible construction skills this week by building a gorgeous lemonade stand from scratch for his daughter Alessi, which he captured via an incredible Instagram reel time-lapse with cameos from Lauren Luyendyk, she does the sanding, and the Luyendyk twins themselves. 45.8K likes on this post, 1.1 million views.
I always forget his nickname was the Kissing Bandit and that they made him wear that like Zorro mask on that one group date. I always forget that. Oh God,
I
so
never
much.
forget it. Wasn't it Annalise's limo exit? She wore a little mask.
They also called him Pillow Lips. Ari Lyondike to
Pillow.
me he's one of those bachelors that I think was an entry point for a lot of people to the franchise. And I think he really did give a lot to this franchise. That season is really just like, it ages like a fine wine. It's a very good season.
His carpentry skills in this, you are not going to believe.
I'll have to watch it.
It looks amazing.
Coming in at number 4, or sorry, with our number 4 parasocial play of the week is, I'm just reading this like, oh God, what am I about to read? Devin, in quotes, loose likes, straighter, posted an IG story coming for those Bachelorette players he's left in his wake via a famous Grim Reaper meme. Grim Reaper Devin passes a few open doors which have bloody trails. 2 of the doors depict old Aaron Erb and then Thomas N's faces on the doors. The Grim Reaper has already passed. He's now knocking on another door, but we don't see whose face will be revealed. Then he deleted this post. Now, if I'm Devin Strader at this point, you've got to be gaming like what you're going to do about all the stuff that's about to come out. And posts like this, I think, are a little too like, look, I'm beating these other guys at this game. And it's like, dude, this isn't good. You've got to be.
I would send everything you're about to post through another person besides yourself.
Yeah.
To check.
You got to get a PR.
Just in case you're not
agent
sure.
Or something. I don't know. I don't know what to do.
But, you know,
for him,
fascinating
honestly.
play.
Yeah, it was a great play. I love that play. In any other week of the game, maybe it would have been fine, you know.
Coming in at number 3 in our top parasocial plays, Maria Georgas is back in the news. In her Instagram story, she cozies up with Perfect Match and Too Hot to Handle star, goofball F-boy vomit player Harry Jowsey. On August 9th, they were seen together during a public night out at a cocktail bar in the North, Toronto. Georgia shared videos of the evening on her Instagram stories showing Jowsey alongside her and her friends, even including a Jowsey hand on a Georgia's leg play. And in a power move, she apparently did not even tag Jowsey. This sparked speculation amongst the 4th audience about whether the two will pair up outside of the gram. But as Jowsey famously said, if you love someone, let them go.
That was a work of art that you wrote there. I'm sorry, that whole piece is that should be in the Smithsonian. Goofball F-boy vomit player.
Thank you so much. I tried very hard.
Jesus. That reminds me of I think it was an old Onion headline about Jim Carrey, and they called him a rubber-faced fartsmith. And I found that very funny.
A what?
A rubber-faced fartsmith.
Oh.
Thank you. I don't know why I'm saying thank you. I didn't write that. In our second place, parasocial play of the week, we've got Kelsey Anderson, the most recent ring winner and butterfly conjurer, celebrated her dad. Mark Anderson joined the cast of Golden Bachelorette for Joan's season with a 13-second TikTok of her green screen face reacting over the Golden Bachelorette Instagram post. The score? Unwritten by Natasha Bedingfield. The parasocial power? 1.7 million views, 270.5K likes, 1.7K comments. We love to see the power of this Anderson Bachelor dynasty, and we have a feeling it may foresee the 4th audience's interest in a Mark Anderson Golden Bachelor crown. He's also listed as the only player under 60, like we were saying up top, at 57. Unfair advantage? Too young to be serious attacks? Time will tell. That would be fucking hilarious. This guy's only 57. You think he's ready for marriage? I hope somebody comes to him with that.
This video would have been our winner any other week.
Yeah.
However, and all of these were strong plays. However, there can only be one winner. Our parasocial play of the week goes to Nick Viall and Grant Ellis and the Viall Show. They made a joint play, which was a Mean Girls inspired promo for the new Grant Ellis interview they dropped, which starred Joey Graziadei, Kelsey Anderson, Daisy Kent, Tyler Cameron, Ashley and Jared Iaconetti and the Iaconetti baby, Andrew Spencer, actor Josh Peck, and even Katie Maloney from Vanderpump Rules. This post got 25.3K likes and 1 million views. As one user commented, more marketing into this reel than The Bachelor announcing him.
It's unbelievable. I mean, say what you will about the great one, but this is off the charts.
The promos for his show are so good.
Yeah.
Whoever is making them, maybe Natalie Joy, maybe she's doing a great job.
You think it's Natalie Joy?
Could be.
Humbly, I disagree. Moving on now to the parasocial powers of some of our non-human friends within the nation. We saw Jen posing with a cute creature on a Wild Till 9 podcast hosted by Lordy Y. I don't know who this is. Jeremy Michael
I think
22.
it's Lore DIY.
Oh, I see. Lore DIY, yeah. And
Maybe.
Jeremy Michael 22. It's a really cute little kind of Spuds MacKenzie style dog that she's snuggling up with.
What's Spuds McKenzie?
What kind of dog is... Wait, what? You don't know who Spuds MacKenzie is? It's time for me to go on The Golden Bachelor, I guess.
I'm just a baby girl.
Oh, God.
I'm so young.
He was a super famous, ad pitchman dog for, I want to say Bud Light? Some beer.
A real dog.
Yeah, he was a real dog named Spuds MacKenzie.
Oh.
However,
Nope.
This was not the Parasocial Creature of the Week. This week, the Parasocial Creature of the Week award goes to Katie Thurston's cat, Tommy, who regrettably passed away at the age of 16 this week. You should definitely go to Katie's Instagram and check out her kind of commemoration post of everything that Tommy meant to her. It has pictures of when she first got Tommy, when she was young, 15 or something, 16 years old, something like this, all the way through his life and everything that he's meant to her as kind of her companion through all the wildest times in her life, through all of her reality TV career up to this point, which has been extensive. And it just was...
Tommy came to F-Boy Island, I remember.
Tommy was on reality TV. He himself was a reality TV star. And it was just a touching tribute.
We've given him many, many awards on this show.
Yeah, we have. He was a beautiful guy, and we hope that he's watching down over all of us. I know seeing this post made me hug Skabulian that day quite a lot. And so we give it to Tommy
I cried.
in honor. I did not cry.
I'm gonna cry now.
I
Don't you dare read this Instagram post.
I won't read it. Please go read it of your own accord, though. It's beautifully written and a fitting tribute to this cat, this parasocial creature who was such a big part of Katie's life and therefore a big part of the nation at large. Now, let's move on.
You can tell parasocially that he had the best life ever.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that. You ain't seen what Skabulian's got going on over here.
You're right. I don't think Tommy was able to get as much blood as Skabulian.
Skabulian gets fresh
Human
blood whenever he
blood to
wants
dine
it
on.
from my veins. He gets basically, unless I'm shooting this show, I'm combing him. Just combing, brushing, however he likes it. He attacks me whenever
I
he
hope
wants.
you still have time for your cardistry.
The cardistries had to take a back seat to my servitude to my cat. At any rate, please go check out that post on Katie Thurston's Instagram. It is very
love you,
beautiful,
Tommy.
very touching. We all love you, Tommy. We hope wherever you are now, you're looking down on us all and hopefully being jealous of how much combing Skabulian's getting. Now, let's move on to
Hopefully.
that portion of our program in which we descend into the deepest parts of the pit to issue forth our screams about how our fandom of this franchise and indeed reality TV as a whole has drastically changed us on a fundamental level. This is
Screams from the Pit!
My scream this week is a song. As Clues was out last week for Twibbin, I did a solo episode for our episode, and I don't often open my DMs or text messages or anything.
emails.
But
Yeah, or mailbox.
or emails.
Or front
Shut
door. Or
I do not like I get overwhelmed by people contacting me. And I did, however, get passed along some messages from Anya, our social media manager, that were praising the episode, and it made me feel very good and happy that you guys enjoyed the episode. I don't think I had done a solo one except for maybe one digging deeper. So, yeah, I'm very, very happy with how it went. And I wanted to say thank you for sending those messages along anyway.
I watched your episode too. I loved it. I thought you were great.
Thanks, Clues.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Some very
that.
funny stuff in there. I liked when you were predicting what my reactions would have been to stuff. I thought that was hilarious.
Yes.
And I thank you for
I
for
think
doing
maybe one episode I could just do a Clues impression responding back to me the whole thing.
it. Yeah. It's like split. You
If
have
I
multiple
may.
personalities. If I may. At any rate. No,
At any rate, that's a big one.
I sincerely thank you for taking on the responsibility of doing it by yourself. And I thought it was a fantastic episode. I loved it. I love that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. My scream this week
What's your scream?
has to do with an Uber driver, as some of my screams sometimes do. When I go to our watch
Oh, no.
parties, the parking in that area is always a nightmare for me, so I just take an Uber. And when I was coming back from the watch party, generally speaking, the Uber driver will ask me what was going on there. Did you have a fun time at the bar? And it leads to an immediate conversation about what was going on in the bar, the podcast, et cetera, et cetera. This specific night, coming back from the watch party this Monday, the Uber driver's asking me this, and I started talking about like our podcast and whatever. And I said, I also made a country album about Bachelor. And the guy was like, what? I got to hear this. And I'm like, it's on Spotify. Pull it up. So he puts it on. And this is a person who doesn't, at least by his admission, ever watch The Bachelor, care about reality TV in any way, et cetera, et cetera. He started listening to the album. And he said, this is
What song?
he just started listening to the whole thing. Started from the beginning, and we got through maybe 5 or 6 songs by the time we arrived at my home. He said, and I quote, "This is fire. I'll see you at the CMAs." And I said, I don't know about that, but
Oh my God.
he proceeded to say he's now going to watch The Bachelorette because of my album. The sweet sounds of my For the Right Reasons album.
Does he work for the CMAs? Does he have a hookup or
No,
he's just...
I think he was just kidding. But
yeah.
he did say that he would watch an
Wow.
episode of The Bachelorette just to see, because I was trying to tell him, like, I'm not here to make friends as a common phrase that the villains will use, or fantasy suites as a round of the game. You know, these terms that I'm using in the songs. I was trying to explain, like, these are things in the show. And he's like, I got to watch the show now. I don't know if that happened, but he told me it was going to. And so from that, I took this information. The power of my music is such that the dark energies of the pit sing out of it to whoever listens and drags them in with us. I can now pull through song.
I mean, the fact that he played more than one means that he liked it. So I believe he will watch the episode.
I hope so. But that's my scream.
Hopefully it's a good one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Watch the episode, but don't Google any of the players. Okay. So let's now move on. We have one more scream to play for you. We, of course, aren't the only ones down at the bottom of the pit screaming. If you would like to scream, all you got to do is go to patreon.com/Game of Roses. Join us in the bottom of this very pit. And you will get access to our Discord where you can get into a channel called Screams from the Pit and submit your 1 minute or shorter audio or video format scream. And we play the best ones here. The one we have for you today is beyond special. I'm going to give some backstory to it. If you watched our beloved game on Monday night, Gen Trans episode 6, you might have noticed this or you might have not noticed this. On the Yellow Brick Road date with Marcus, who now has multiple allegations against him, there is a player that Jen, Tran, and Marcus walk, or not a player, sorry, they walk right past a bystander, just a person.
A civilian.
A person who perhaps inhabits the Yellow Brick Road. Like, no. This person was placed
We
there.
were wondering who the background people were.
Yeah.
A lot of them were wearing pink.
Yep. I think these were placed there by producers, and maybe we'll get some more information about this in the Scream. But this person is a pit member who was wearing our 4TRR shirt. That's in the document now. We have pictures of this. It will be on our social media. You will see them if you are watching this on YouTube. And we are now going to hear a scream from this person who was wearing this shirt. And hopefully this will shed some light on how this all happened.
At Emma.
Comes to us from @Emma. And let's take a listen to this powerful scream right now.
Hello, Pitt. My scream today is the story of how I got the 4TRR shirt in the document. Back in April, I saw a post on Instagram for an exciting Seattle date opportunity for the coming Sunday, a chance to see Jen and her date up close. I gasped. I live in Seattle. I immediately go to book a ticket, but I was too late. It was sold out. I was not deterred, however, and decided this was only the beginning. I start trolling Reddit for information and found there was an address you could email to try to claim a ticket. My non-pit dwelling friend and I frantically send emails begging them to give us a ticket, but they respond back telling us the event is indeed sold out. Still undeterred, I spend the next few days trolling all corners of the internet trying to find out where the event is being filmed. If I could just show up and see the set, I would be happy. All I find, however, is that ticket holders were asked to wear pink and green. It's Sunday morning. It's the day of the shoot. I still have no clue where it is, but then I am struck with an idea. I decide to listen to Reality Steve's podcast to see if he mentions the shooting location. The dark energies are with me, and he says the location within the first 5 minutes. I'm freaking out. I text my friend and tell her to meet me there in 45 minutes. Without even thinking, I throw on my 4TRR shirt, grab my pink raincoat, and run out the door in my Todd. We arrive on set and see everything you saw on Monday night. It was amazing. We take pictures on set. It couldn't get better. But then we start seeing ticket holders checking in with the third audience. We start thinking, we came all this way. We might as well ask to be on the wait list. I get to the front of the check-in line and a member of the third audience asks for my name. I explain that we don't actually have tickets, but we'd love to be added to a wait list. The dark energies are with me again. She just lets us in. We are overcome with joy and completely freaking out. While we wait to film, some pit dwellers say hi to me and enjoy my shirt. It's time to start filming, and the third audience lets us know that we won't be clapping. We will be milling around, very casually, LOL. So my friend and I start plotting the best way to end up on camera. Once we noticed they were doing the date in one shot, she points out that if we always walk behind Jen and Marcus as they move from station to station, then they have to use one of those shots eventually, and we will end up in the document. Yes, you're brilliant, I say. She was right, and that's how a full body shot of me totting in my 4TRR shirt right next to Jen and Marcus ended up in the document. Praise be Dark Lord Palmer.
I'm even more speechless than when I saw this picture in the first place. Clues has just died on my monitor.
Emma,
he's gone.
Thank you. This is the greatest gift that I don't know if it's the greatest gift the pit has ever given me. I've gotten some very good gifts from the pit, but this is
What about your weights?
incredible. Yeah, that the Blake Ellerby 30-pound dumbbells. That was a good gift.
What about the baseball?
My baseball, yes, that Braden Bowers gave me, that Charity Lawson gave him. But this is up there with those. To have the 4TRR Gore shirt in the document is astounding. That's something I never thought would actually ever happen. To hear this story of how you put together this day, that it, you didn't have the tickets, you didn't know where it was, you had to listen to Reality Steve, the effort that you put in to show up at this place, and then to wait in line, to become one of the bystanders milling
Wearing
around.
the colors they said to wear.
Absolutely incredible. We cannot thank you enough for this scream and for all the effort that you put in to do this. It really is mind-blowing. But I think...
I'm so curious. Did they sign anything? Did they just cut the... I don't know, because usually you have to sign stuff to...
Yeah, I'm sure they had to sign something saying you wouldn't post any of the social media until the episode airs and all that kind of stuff. But I'm more astounded by the fact that they didn't... Usually when you're on camera for any show, if you're wearing something that has a design on it or a logo, the show will have to clear those logos with whoever owns the copyright for it. Mm-hmm. Obviously, they didn't do that here.
They didn't clear it with us.
They didn't clear it, but they also didn't blur it. Usually if they don't get clearance of an image or a logo, they'll just blur it out. That did not happen here. So somehow, through the dark energies of the pit, all of this came to be. And now that image, created by Ella Tolkien, who does a bunch of our different shirts and stuff throughout the years, is now literally in the document, standing 1 foot away from Jen Tran on the Yellow Brick Road date, no less.
The forethought to be they're gonna show them transitioning between all the stations too. It's just like, this is the type of that brains that, you know, could cure cancer.
I agree. In many ways, it's like
I think
the
Emma should get on it.
Wizard of Oz. We, on Game of Roses, to some degree, pull back the curtain of what really is reality television, how it's made, how the producers are thinking, what are the things that are real and not. And now we have some graphic representation of us literally in the Wizard of Oz date, in the Wicked date.
Wicked.
Yeah. Had a wicked good time. Anyway, thank you so much, Emma, for this scream and for all of your valuable service to the pit. I really am I'm blown away by this.
Thank you so much. This is a great day.
It is a fantastic day. And hopefully, maybe more days like this will come in the future. If you are out there listening or watching this on YouTube, as you can now do, and you want to go to a date, why not throw on a 4TRR shirt? Why not? Let's see how many of these we can get in the document. It's
just like the whole audience.
Some pickleball date in Joan Vasso's season is just like 100 people in 4TRR shirts and like dark sunglasses. What the hell's going on here?
That's the dream. That's why
dream.
we started this podcast. Don't forget.
That's right. Look, to some degree we did. One of our original goals with this podcast in the very, very beginning, I remember a night of you, me, and Erica sitting on my couch in my living room watching this thing and kind of pontificating about the idea of going into a reality TV show as somebody in the background, to just be the weird person sitting at a table behind a date or whatever, you know. Now this is kind of a version of that. And it's happening through the dark energies of the pit.
Performance art.
It is. It is a piece of
Erica's coming
performance art.
Monday, by the way.
Oh, great. Yeah, if you want to meet the phantom third member of the pit, she'll be there at our watch party at 33 Taps, Silver Lake. We hope to see everyone there. But that wraps up this week in Bachelor.
She is now curing cancer.
She what?
She is now curing cancer. No, I don't know. She's helping kids. She's a doctor doing some kid stuff.
Okay. All right. She may or may not be curing cancer. We don't know.
So much information in this episode.
You know what? I could see her.
Jam-packed.
I could see Erica. She has that kind of thing about her. I could see her curing some form of cancer. That is, to me, not out of the realm of possibility.
For sure.
And then
she's literally a genius.
We can claim that in the pit. We can say the pit cured cancer if that happens.
We interviewed her sometime.
Yeah.
I want to say maybe it was...
We did a Patreon episode with her and I think two of your other friends talking about when you guys were in the...
Oh, yes. That was about when we were in the background.
Yeah. But at any rate, if I now may say that phrase, I love that phrase. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
I love that.
That wraps up this week in Bachelor Nation. We will see you on Monday with a brand new Digging Deeper, where we're going to go through a bunch of different clips. There's a bunch of good ones that are already coming out from Bial Files. There's some, I believe, some clips about Wells Adams revealing that Grocery Store Joe got into a physical altercation during one of his Paradise seasons that was removed from the document. Hopefully we'll have that in there for you.
What?
I know. There's some wild stuff. The sauce wars are still afoot.
Tastes like blood from your face.
You need to get out of this beach before I make you get out of this beach. Thank you again for joining us. And like I said, Monday we'll have that Digging Deeper. Tuesday, we'll have Gen Trans recap, and it all starts again next week. We hope you'll join us for it.
Praise be Dark Lord Palmer.
Please rate this podcast. Please review this podcast. Please get a friend to listen to us, and then please rate this podcast. Please review this podcast. Please get a friend to listen to us, and then please rate this podcast. Please review this podcast. Please get a friend to listen to us, and then